Stop. Don't scroll. Just listen. Your mind is ready, but your mouth is not. You know the words. You rehearse them silently. But when the moment comes, your throat tightens, your chest feels heavy, and your voice waits. This isn't lack of intelligence. It's lack of training. Every time you stay silent, your mouth learns one thing: to stay silent. And silence becomes a habit. But here's the truth. Your mouth doesn't need more rules. It needs more repetition, more rhythm, more exposure, more use. This story is not here to teach. It's here to rewire. So listen closely, because something changes when your mouth stops asking permission. Before we go deeper, if you want to improve your English while listening to powerful life stories, subscribe to Listen Between the Lines. And here we don't just teach English, we help you think better, listen better, and live better. Now, let's begin. Act 1, The Invisible Problem, Why You Can't Speak. Chapter 1, Fluent in Your Head, Silent in Life. You understand English. You really do. You watch videos. You follow conversations. You nod along. Inside your head, everything sounds clear. You know what you want to say. You even rehearse it quietly. But then the moment arrives. A real person, real eyes, real silence waiting for your voice. And suddenly, your voice disappears. Not because you forgot the words. You didn't. They're still there, lined up perfectly inside your mind. But your mouth doesn't follow. It feels like there's a delay, like your thoughts are fast, but your mouth is slow. You open your lips, then close them again. You wait, you hesitate, and the moment passes. Later, you replay it in your head. I should have said this. I could have said that. And now, it sounds perfect. That gap between what you know and what you say, that gap is not small. It's the most frustrating place to live. You're fluent in your head, but silent in life. And if you've felt this, then listen carefully. Because the reason is not what you were told. Chapter 2, The Freeze Response. The moment you try to speak, your body reacts first. Your lips tighten. Your tongue freezes, like it forgot its you. Your chest feels heavy. Your breathing changes. And your mind goes blank. This is not laziness. This is not lack of effort. This is your nervous system entering survival mode. Your brain doesn't care about English. It cares about safety. When it senses judgment, even imagined judgment, it activates an ancient response. Fight, flight, or freeze. Speaking a language your body hasn't mastered feels like exposure. So your system shuts down movement, not because you're weak, but because your body was never trained to feel safe while speaking. Neuroscience calls this a motor skill bottleneck. Your brain knows the language, but your mouth has no muscle memory. So under pressure, it chooses stillness. This is why you speak better alone. This is why you speak better in your head. Your problem is not English. It's that your body never learned how to move with it. Chapter 3. The Lie You Were Taught. You were told the solution was simple. Learn more grammar. Memorize more vocabulary. Speak when you're ready. But here's the truth. Grammar was never the problem. Vocabulary was never the problem. You don't freeze because you lack rules. You freeze because your mouth was never trained to move. No one taught you that speaking is a physical skill. Just like walking, just like driving, just like playing music. You don't think your way into fluency. You move your way into it. Your mouth needs repetition. Your tongue needs rhythm. Your breath needs timing. Waiting to feel ready was the lie. 'Cause readiness comes after movement, not before. You were never bad at English. You were simply never trained to speak it. And once you see this, your identity changes. Because now, the problem is no longer you. Act 2. English is physical, the core truth. Chapter 4. English lives in the mouth. English is not just knowledge. It never was. English lives somewhere else. It lives in your lips, in your tongue, in your jaw, in your breath. And most people were never told this. They were taught English as information, rules, definitions, exams. But language is not stored in books. It's stored in movement. Every sound in English requires a physical shape. Your lips must close, then open. Your tongue must lift, curl, and release. Drop. At the right moment, your breath must flow, not stop. This is why English feels blocked sometimes. Your brain knows the sentence, but your mouth has never practiced the path. Imagine trying to dance by reading instructions. You could memorize every step, but until your body moves, you don't know the dance. English is the same. Native speakers don't think about grammar when they speak. Their mouths already know where to go. That knowledge lives below thinking, in the body. Until you train this, English will always feel like something you know, but cannot release. Chapter 5. Why Watching Doesn't Work. You watched English. A lot of it. Videos, podcasts, movies. You consumed English, but you never trained it. This is the mistake almost everyone makes. Watching feels productive. Your brain lights up. You understand more. So you assume you're improving. But understanding is not the same as speaking. Imagine reading about push-ups. You study perfect form, angles, muscles, but you never get on the floor. Would your arms grow stronger? Of course not. Language works the same way. Your mouth is a muscle system, and muscles don't learn by watching. They learn by doing. When you only watch English, your brain gets smarter, but your mouth stays weak. That's why you feel stuck. You're not failing. You're just training the wrong system. Chapter 6. Speaking is muscle memory. Fluency is not talent. It's muscle memory. The same way your fingers type dot without thinking. The same way you walk without planning each step. Speaking is automatic when the body remembers. Neuroscience calls this motor learning. Your brain builds pathways through repetition. Not one long session, but small, consistent movement. Every time you speak, even badly, your nervous system adapts. Mistakes are not damage. They are signals. Signals that teach your mouth what to do next time. This is why confidence comes after action, not before it. Your mouth must move before your mind feels ready. This is the shift. And once you understand this, everything changes. Yeah. Act 3. Rewiring the mouth, how fluency is built. Chapter 7. Your mouth has a memory. Your mouth remembers more than you think. Not words, not grammar rules. It remembers movement. Think about the first time you learned to ride a bicycle. You didn't read a manual. You didn't memorize instructions. You fell, you adjusted, you tried again. And one day, your body just knew. Speaking English works the same way. Your mouth learns through repetition, through mistakes, through physical experience. But most people never let their mouth learn. They trap English in their head. And every time they try to speak, the mouth panics because it has no memory to rely on. This is why you freeze. Not because you're bad, not because you're slow, but because your mouth has never been trained to move at speed. Muscle memory doesn't care about confidence. It cares about repetition. And once repetition is there, confidence follows. Fluency is not something you think your way into. It's something you move your way into. Chapter 8. Why your brain panics when you speak. Every time you try to speak, your brain asks one dangerous question. Is this safe? If the answer is no, your body shuts down. Your throat tightens, your jaw locks, your breath shortens. This is not weakness. This is biology. Your brain is designed to protect you from embarrassment the same way it protects you from danger. To your nervous system, being judged feels like a threat. So when you hesitate, when your mind goes blank, when words disappear, it's not because you don't know English. It's because your nervous system has never been trained to feel safe while speaking. Safety comes from familiarity. Familiarity comes from controlled repetition. That's why silent learning fails. Your brain never gets proof that speaking is survivable. But the moment you speak, slowly, imperfectly, repeatedly, your brain updates its belief. This didn't kill me. I can do this again. And that is how fear shrinks. Chapter 9. The day practice becomes automatic. There is a moment most people never reach. A moment when speaking stops feeling forced. When words stop being assembled and start flowing. This moment doesn't come from motivation. It comes from systems. Small practices, daily repetition, low pressure. 5 minutes of speaking out loud beats an hour of silent watching. Your mouth doesn't need intensity. It needs consistency. This is where fluency is born. Not in classrooms, not in textbooks, but in repetition so small you almost underestimate it. One sentence, spoken clearly, every day. Over time, your mouth stops asking for permission. It just moves. And when that happens, you don't try to speak anymore. You simply do. Act 4. Building the speaking identity from practice to confidence. Chapter 10. You must become the person who speaks. At some point, practice is no longer enough. At some point, you must change how you see yourself. Most people say, I am learning English. But inside their head, they are still someone who doesn't speak. And identity always wins. If you see yourself as silent, your body will protect that image. If you see yourself as not ready, your mouth will wait forever. Fluency begins when your identity shifts. Not when your grammar is perfect, not when your accent disappears, but when you start thinking, I am someone who speaks, even if it's imperfect. This is uncomfortable at first. Your old identity resists. It says, stay quiet. Don't embarrass yourself. But every time you speak anyway, you weaken that old identity. Identity is not changed by thinking. It is changed by evidence. Each sentence spoken out loud is evidence. Each mistake survived is evidence. Each conversation attempted is evidence. Slowly, your brain updates its story. This is who I am now. And once identity changes, behavior follows naturally. Chapter 11. Confidence is a side effect, not a goal. Most people chase confidence. They wait for it, hope for it, but confidence doesn't arrive first. Confidence arrives after action. When you speak despite fear, your nervous system learns something powerful. I can survive this. That realization is confidence. Not loud confidence, not fake confidence, but quiet, grounded confidence. The kind that doesn't shake when you make a mistake. Mistakes stop being threats. They become feedback. Your mouth relaxes, your breath deepens, and when the body relaxes, speech flows more easily. This is why forcing confidence never works. You cannot think your way into it. You must act your way into it. Small actions, repeated daily, speaking to yourself, reading out loud, repeating sentences with rhythm. Confidence grows quietly. One day you notice you didn't hesitate. And that's when you realize confidence was built, not found. Chapter 12. When English stops feeling like English. There comes a moment that surprises most people. English stops feeling like a subject. It stops feeling like rules, stops feeling like effort. It starts feeling like expression. Your mouth no longer asks, "Is this correct?" It asks, "What do I want to say?" This is the transition point from learner to speaker. Not perfect, not polished, but real. This is where rhythm matters more than rules, where pauses matter more than vocabulary, where your mouth trusts itself. And once that trust exists, you stop translating. You start speaking. Act 5, the decision, silence or voice. Chapter 13, the cost of staying silent. Before we end this journey, we need to talk about something uncomfortable. Because silence is not neutral. Silence has a cost. Most people never calculate it. They just live with it. They call it being shy. They call it not ready yet. They call it, I'll practice later. But silence quietly takes things from you. It takes opportunities, jobs you didn't apply for, conversations you avoided, ideas you never shared. It takes relationships, moments where you wanted to say something meaningful, but smiled instead. It takes confidence, not all at once, slowly, quietly. Neuroscience shows us something brutal here. Every time you don't speak when you want to, your brain strengthens the silence pathway. Your nervous system learns, Staying quiet keeps me safe. And safety feels good, but it slowly becomes a cage. That's why years pass. And one day you realize you still understand English. You still watch videos. You still know the rules. But you're still silent. This is not because you're lazy or weak or incapable. It's because habits compound. Silence practiced daily becomes silence owned. And the longer you wait, the heavier the first word feels. That's the cost. Not embarrassment. Not mistakes, but the slow erosion of the person you could have been. And here's the hardest truth of all. No one is coming to save you from this. No teacher, no perfect course, no magical video. Only a decision. Chapter 14, the moment you choose your voice. Right now, you are standing at a quiet crossroads. Not a dramatic one, not an obvious one. A simple one. On one side is the familiar path, watching, understanding, waiting. It feels safe, it feels controlled. On the other side is a different path, speaking, sounding imperfect, being heard. That path feels risky, but it's the only one that leads forward. Here's what neuroscience tells us about moments like this. Your brain is constantly predicting who you are. Every action you take updates that prediction. When you speak, even one sentence, your brain updates the model, I am someone who speaks. That single update matters more than hours of passive learning. This is why fluency doesn't start with confidence. It starts with courage. Courage is not loud. It's quiet. It shakes. It speaks anyway. You don't wake up one day fluent. You wake up one day and decide not to stay silent anymore. From that day on, every sentence is a vote. A vote for the person you are becoming. And no one hears those early votes. They happen in your room, in front of a mirror, late at night, early in the morning. But they count. Because identity is built in private before it shows in public. Chapter 15. This is where fluency begins. So let's end this the right way. Not with motivation, not with hype, but with truth. Fluency is not a destination. It's a habit. It's built in 5-minute sessions no one applauds. It's built in sentences repeated when you feel stupid. It's built when your voice cracks and you keep going. This video didn't give you fluency. It gave you awareness. And awareness is dangerous because now you know. You know the problem was never intelligence, never grammar, never vocabulary. It was training. From this moment on, every day you choose silence, you choose it consciously. And every day you speak, even badly, you break the old pattern. So here's the only line that matters now. Say it out loud. Not perfectly, not confidently, just honestly. I will train my mouth every day. That's it. Not forever, not dramatically, just daily. Because the people who speak fluently are not special. They are simply the ones who refuse to stay silent. And this is where your voice begins. If this story helped you think, helped you feel, and helped you practice English, subscribe to listen between the lines. More real stories, more clear English, more meaning in every word. Thank you for listening. Take one small action today. I'll see you in the next story.